Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to show you how I made this flower, ephemera flower focal point out of scraps. Now, I did sort of calling this a bust a scrap, but the one that I'm going to show you how I made it is actually not a scrap. It is from a digital. But these were from papers from scraps. You can see a couple different ones in there. So it's definitely a scrap doable project. They just have to be reversible. And I paired it up with the chipboard, whatever you want to call this thing. When I was sorting my ephemera, I found a whole bunch of hardboards that I reminded myself that I needed to make more toppers. So I decided to turn this into a topper, added a little cheesecloth, a sticker, a butterfly, some boo-boo tape. I stamped it. That was from before. But this, I would plan to make a topper. So like I have this journal cover. By the way, I still have some journal covers in my eBay store. But like this would be a wonderful cover for something that is maybe, you know, not so descript, nice and big. Halfway is about to here. So this piece was pretty big, so it filled the whole thing. I don't know if I would want to put it on something too busy, but I could. I mean, it has butterflies, but this would actually be a very fun one to put with this. Make that the topper, the butterflies, and then this would be the inside of the journal. Yeah, I might actually keep that. I have another journal that I'm still have available in the eBay store for travel, and I have a pair stopper, so I might just include that with this one if anyone decides to buy it as an option to either use as a topper or put in with their journal. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to show you how to make this flower focal point. All right, I am here with my circles. I have pre-cut them out already. Like I said, it needed to be a double-sided piece of paper. This was a scrapbook piece of paper that I printed a digital on, and I thought this would be really pretty for a flower. So I have cut out 8 pieces, and I've already started scoring some of them just to get a start on it. So everybody's going to be different, but this is how I ended up figuring out how to do mine, and I ended up using my scoreboard. Now, they're not all perfect, but I try to, as I'm making them, try to keep them as consistent as possible because it's easy to mess up. So what I did was I ended up putting it on this, there's a lip on this scoreboard, and I ended up putting on a lip, and then there's numbers on the side, and I tried to eyeball it so that it was even with the 1 and the 1. And it can shift a little bit, so but I do my best to try to keep it. So I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to just do a gentle score inside here. There's like a lip where the other scoreboard is, and I'm just going to do a gentle score so that I can fold it up and fold it up. So the next thing I do is see if this is about the same as the ones I've been doing and make any adjustments as necessary. And it's not too bad in front. It needs to come up just a little bit more. And that's where the gentle score really comes into effect. So you really want to nail it down and get it pretty close. Now I decided to, since this is double-sided, I decided to keep the digital part on the inside, and then these folds up were the dots from the outside. I thought those would be fun in the center of the flower to have the dots. So we're going to go ahead, and again, this is really my scoreboard, but this is how I did it. So kind of have to figure out how you want to be consistent. And it could be just as easy as you fold one by hand. Oops. See, that's what happens. It slips, and then it gets kind of cockeyed. You fold one by hand, and you like the shape, and then you just go and try to fold the other ones like it. Now, I can tell, see, that got wacky because it shifted. So I wanted to fold it up a little bit more. And let's see if that's looking good. Yeah, that's much better. I'm really looking to see if that petal is pretty even. So when we put the flower together, we can be able to distribute it a little bit better. All right, so again, we're just gonna hold it down, try try to center it between the two ones and do our best to put a score that doesn't shift too far. There it is. I'm like, I couldn't see it. Yeah, you got a little wacky. That's much better. Okay. All right, so I'm going to finish off these last two. Put it on quick motion. Okay, I punched a whole circle out of a scrap piece of paper here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half and then fold it in half again, just to get a center mark for this. Hopefully this, I probably should have got a blank piece of paper instead of one with marks, but I think I still should be able to see where this center goes. I'll get a pen here. Let's use red. All right, so that's going to be the center. And that is basically where we're going to start aiming our items to. Now I'm going to do, we might not need 8 the way I folded these. We might just need 6. Yeah, I think we need 6. That'll work. All right. Yeah, we'll end up doing 6 for that. All right, so I'm going to start by putting some glue, wet glue, on the center part because I want to be able to shift it and move them for a bit after I put them down, because it's not a perfect science, as they say, to do this. All right, but we're going to start with, I'm going to put one there toward the center and then marked with the line, and same with that. Give it some room. And we'll do the same with this bottom piece. Now what I'm going to try to do is do my best to keep the outside petals pretty even. Not that flowers are totally even, but give them a little symmetry. All right, so that looks pretty good, even with that, even with that. And I'm not so worried about the center because I will cover that up with the circle. Yeah, and you can see why the white glue definitely helps, because you can shift some stuff around. And there we go. Beautiful. All right, so what I'm going to do is get a center for that. And I'm going to use, like I said, my little guy. And I was thinking about doing this corner because there's kind of like a flower here. And it's darker. I was thinking about using that for the center. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. Now I probably could have taken the time to ink all those edges also. If you wanted to just make them a little bit more stand outish. Just depends on how you want it to get, but I think I'll just, for now, I'm gonna ink the outside of the flower, and we are going to put that on there. And I think I do want that at the top of the flower. Not that it totally matters, but I'm gonna aim that flower upward. There's like a watch there that fell over, just some words, pretty plain, pretty standard stuff there. But there you go. There is one flower topper. Now I have another journal topper here, and I was thinking, I saw this one. Could be kind of fun to put it right there. Right? With like the circle of coffee around it. Got around the edges. Oh, let's use the biggest one. And we're going to ink this just because it was put on some kind of whitey chipboard that really kind of gets seen from the sides. Now I almost use this as a flower. I don't know if I can really put that behind there because it's going to not show that coffee stain, and I kind of really do want to show that. And yet I keep ripping. I mean, I don't mind it on there with the green, that's for sure. I mean, I kind of like that. All right, I think I will. I'm going to glue that down, and I'll cut off the edge. Won't wrap it around. Wasn't totally planning on making another topper, but here we are. All right, get that straight. And trim that off. I mean, I could wrap it around. It just wouldn't be seen. But just as easy to cut it off. Probably let that glue dry and keep it for something. That up a little higher than I should have, but that's okay. I do show a little bit of the ring down there, and probably put like some sort of label down there and call it a day. I think I'm gonna use the art glitter though, so I don't kind of squish the petals, or not squish them, but you know, try to shift them and move them. All right, flower up. I do like it too that these petals are not pushed down, so they give a little bit of texture to that. Pretty simple, right? Have a little purple. Purple will be fun. Got one of these tickets. It's kind of a little bit washy, so we'll show some stuff through. We're just going to put it on the edge there. You can see some of the words through. And it's crooked. Are you going to come off? I know you're pretty sticky. That's a little better. Yeah, I don't mind it. I still could definitely add some stuff to it. Jazz it up a little bit. That would have been fun on there. That's one of my carpet tapes that I stamped. But since I got that, I am not going to put that on there. I think a little boo-boo tape would be fun on there. another shade of color right under there. And I'll probably call this one done. I mean, I could add some more stuff, but I think I'm going to call it done. Just to add a little bit of color down there. Yeah. Fun, right? All right, well, that is a pretty quick tutorial, even if it is sort of very specific to the items I had. But it's definitely fun to make those flowers out of just plain old circles. So experiment with folding sizes and how big you want them. You could definitely go ahead and, you know, overlap them a little bit if you wanted to, or just keep making them until you are satisfied with the size. But yeah, I like them. Make them out of scrappy bits, different colors, or pick one. You could do solids if you wanted to. I have seen them where they do them out of music sheets. I did try one earlier out of book pages, and that would be, well, that worked too. I don't even know how many I did on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 9 on this one when I was hand folding them. So they really are very easy to manipulate and do different varieties of sizes and out of different papers. But like I said, really the key thing on it is to make sure it is double-sided. So when you fold it into itself, it has not just plain paper. I mean, unless you want that look. Well, of course, it's up to you. Okay, well, that is going to be it for this. I appreciate each and every one of you to stop by. Don't forget, like I said, to check out the eBay store if you want to see what I have left on my journal covers. And I definitely think I'll be adding that to that one if somebody purchases it, because it'll be fun for that. Okay, all right, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.